Slams and welcome on some headline news where Vladimir Putin, Russia, is hosting the BRICS. And it's absolutely amazing. BRICS started with 5 countries, now there's more than 20. So the president of Russia, His Excellency Mr. Vladimir Putin, has invited more than 20 nations to show that the sanctions against Russia are really not working. BRICS originally started off with 5 main countries, as you know: Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. South Africa is where we stay. So if you say South Africa, okay, that's we from South Africa, I'll be happy. And subsequently, so many other countries have joined. I think it's Saudi Arabia, Ethiopia, Egypt, various other countries. So now let's look at this fabulous gathering of people. Now, the main thing about BRICS and why sometimes you will see bad things written about BRICS. Why? Because it's the media. And the same way that I've written a book on Islam in the media, where if certain people don't like what's happening with BRICS, they will try and twist the whole story. That's known as propaganda, lies, and falsehood to try and confuse the people. But there's something very good about BRICS, and I'll tell you what's good about BRICS. They're coming to the alternative to a dollar. They're coming out to the new currency, and they're coming up with a new economy. Why? Because if one country, like if the US dollar controls the entire world, that thing is known as hegemony. When you have hegemony, that means they control the entire world. They can do what they want to. They can increase you can increase your currency, decrease your currency. But when BRICS is coming on the table, they say, no, we don't like what is happening in the Western world. We are the Southern. We need to have our own currency. So when you have two competing people, I always love it. You know why? Because we, the consumer, we, the customer, we benefit. So when there's two big companies who are competing with one another, the consumer always benefits. But there's only one person in the marketplace. This is called monopoly. They monopolize the entire marketplace, and that's not good for the ordinary people. So let's see what are the thoughts about Mr. Putin himself. The West has dubbed him as a pariah for invading Ukraine, and the sanctions are trying to knock him out, but sanctions are not helping. So in the city of Kazan, President Putin will greet more than 20 heads of state. 20 heads of states. Among the leaders invited are China's Xi Jinping, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian. The Kremlin has called it one of the largest scale foreign policy events ever to be held in Russia. Absolutely amazing. The clear message is that attempts to isolate Russia have clearly failed. It's a big part of the messaging from the Kremlin that Russia is withstanding sanctions and is in fact getting stronger. So who are the friends of Russia? As we mentioned, BRICS stands for Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. This group has expanded to include Egypt, Ethiopia, Iran, and the United Arab Emirates, and it appears that Saudi Arabia is also going to join. And the BRICS nations, these BRICS nations account for 45% of the global population. Added together, member economies are worth more than 28.5 trillion, with a T, trillion US dollars, which is more than 28 to 30% of the global economy. It's a huge powerhouse. Russian officials have indicated that another 30 countries want to join BRICS or seek closer ties with this amazing club, the BRICS Club, of which South Africa is part of it. Yay, South Africa. So in Kazan this week, a lot is beginning to talk about BRICS representing the global majority. So those nations who felt that they're being squeezed by the hegemony and monopoly of the West, they are finding their home within the BRICS. A lot of the problems Russia's economy is facing are linked to cross-border trade and payments, and a lot of that is linked to the US dollar. The US Treasury has enormous power and influence over global trade, simply because the US dollar is the main currency for settling that. Russia's main interest is in breaking the dominance of the US dollar. It wants BRICS countries to create an alternative trading mechanism and cross-border settlement that does not involve the US dollar or euro or any of the G7 currencies. China and India are doing their best to avoid wanting to attack each other all the time, and that is why they are now talking about peace on their small skirmishes across their borders. In Kazan, Vladimir's task will be to skim over the differences and paint a picture of unity while showing the Russian public and to the international community that Russia is not isolated. It is far from isolated, and Russia is really a what you call it, a significant player on the block. And we know that China is a superpower. China's economy is one of the best in the world. The Chinese people are amazing entrepreneurs. Go through some of the YouTube, you see the fascinating architecture, the advances in their military, the aircraft carriers, the ships they got, the aircraft stealth bombers, and the amazing hospitals. You must look at some, as a medical doctor, I'm fascinated by this. So I read a lot about Chinese articles, the journal articles, and we see some of the fascinating neurosurgery that they do, the advances in brain surgery, the advances in heart surgery, the advances in the clinics and the hospitals. Absolutely amazing. So here with BRICS, wish them all the well. Stay well, look after yourself. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen.